103 million British pounds of taxpayers' money spent on a massive 4-year overhaul, only for the warship to be stripped of its weapons and reduced to a floating junkyard. This is the stark reality for the United Kingdom Royal Navy Type 23 frigate HMS Iron Duke. In May 2019, this anti-submarine warfare specialist entered Devonport for a lifetime extension project. By May 2023, the refit was complete, but the structural degradation proved irreversible. Today, this once proud defender is entirely defenseless and useless, serving merely as a source of spare parts for a dying fleet. This leaves the United Kingdom in an unprecedented, highly exposed geostrategic position. As of mid-2026, the entire operational frigate fleet of the Royal Navy has collapsed to just 5 active vessels capable of global deployment. With no immediate replacements available, the vital maritime choke points around the British Isles are now completely vulnerable to foreign intrusion. On paper, their only tactical salvation would be a desperate reliance on regional allies to plug this massive defense gap, leading global defense analysts to argue that London has effectively entered a naval death spiral from which it cannot escape. Why did the Ministry of Defense invest a fortune to save a 30-year-old hull, only to abandon it after just 16 months of post-refit service? Before we go on, does your country have a strong navy to protect its waters? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. If you want to uncover the raw strategic data behind global military shifts, hit that subscribe button now. To understand how this 4,900-ton disaster unfolded, we must dissect the catastrophic life extension project that began in May 2019. When HMS Iron Duke entered the Devonport shipyard, engineers expected a routine upgrade. Instead, they discovered severe physical degradation. The structural steel hull, which houses the highly sensitive Type 2087 towed array sonar system, was suffering from advanced corrosion that was 150% worse than initially estimated. Over the next 49 months, technicians logged over 1,700,000 hours of intense labor just to patch up a 30-year-old frame designed during the Cold War. By the time the vessel finally emerged in May 2023, the financial toll had skyrocketed to that historic 103 million British pounds. To put this into perspective, global naval experts point out that this massive sum could have funded the construction of 2 brand new River-class offshore patrol vessels. London essentially gambled a fortune on an obsolete hull. The tactical flaw became undeniable during subsequent deployments. Throughout late 2024 and early 2025, HMS Iron Duke operated at high intensity in the Baltic Sea, tracking Russian Kilo-class submarines passing through the English Channel. This relentless operational tempo quickly triggered a relapse of mechanical failures and deep structural cracking near the propulsion shafts. The Ministry of Defense faced a grim reality. Keeping the ship active until its original retirement date of 2029 would require tens of millions of British pounds in additional repairs. Worse, the global supply chain for Type 23 components had already been terminated, making proprietary spare parts impossible to acquire through standard procurement. The government realized that continuing to sail this compromised platform was a financial black hole. Faced with this insurmountable barrier, the Ministry of Defense enacted a ruthless strategy in February 2026. Instead of sending the vessel straight to a standard scrap heap, authorities converted it into a non-operational harbor asset, essentially a zombie ship. This desperate process of cannibalization became the only way to keep the remaining fleet alive. Technicians immediately began stripping down the platform, removing the newly upgraded Sea Scepter CAM air defense missile systems to install them onto its sister ship, HMS Lancaster. Advanced radar arrays and functional propeller shaft components were salvaged to support HMS Richmond and HMS Kent, both of which were stranded at port due to a lack of ready parts. This radical cannibalization addresses an even deeper crisis within the military structure, an acute manpower shortage. The Royal Navy is currently operating 1,000 trained personnel under strength, leaving commanders unable to staff full crews. Sacrificing one asset allows the Navy to concentrate its remaining sailors onto the 5 active Type 23 frigates left in service. However, independent strategic reports from the International Institute for Strategic Studies indicate that this creates a dangerous defensive vacuum over the next 3 to 12 months. The critical Greenland Iceland United Kingdom gap is now exposed. To protect the deployment of the aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, British planners must now rely entirely on foreign assets, specifically the Fridtjof Nansen-class frigates of the Royal Norwegian Navy and multi-role vessels from the Netherlands. This stopgap measure will remain the only tactical choice until the next generation Type 26 frigate, HMS Glasgow, can complete its delayed sea trials and officially enter active service. This strategic crisis forces a fundamental debate between two clashing naval doctrines within London defence circles. On one side, proponents of the pragmatism and cost-cutting doctrine argue that sacrificing a deeply flawed platform is a necessary evil. In their view, the Ministry of Defence must ruthlessly cut its losses, abandoning the structural failures of the aging Type 23 hull to preserve precious financial resources and concentrate manpower for upcoming high-tech assets. They believe pouring money into 30-year-old steel is a fool's errand when autonomous drone systems and the advanced Type 26 fleet require immediate funding. On the other side, advocates for the traditional deterrence and presence doctrine view this decline as a national humiliation that leaves a nuclear-armed state dangerously exposed. They contend that dropping the frontline frigate count to just 5 active vessels strips the nation of its global standing, reducing a once mighty superpower to a paper tiger in both the North Atlantic and the strategic Indo-Pacific region. The ultimate lesson from this £103 million British pound blunder is that while money can patch up rusted steel, it cannot fix a broken long-term procurement strategy. London tried to maintain global superpower ambitions on a middle power budget, resulting in a hollow force that cannot even police its own home waters without Allied intervention. This leaves the future of the entire maritime strategy hanging in the balance as the threat landscape intensifies. Should a global naval power prioritize maintaining hull numbers at all costs to deter adversaries? Or is it wiser to suffer a temporary defensive vacuum to invest in future technology? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you want to stay ahead of the curve with raw strategic data and global military insights, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.